It's a privilege to introduce now someone that is at the forefront of driving technological innovation in one of the most critical sectors in the economy. Pritha Mehra is the Chief Information Officer of the US Postal Service and has led the transformative initiatives to modernize and streamline the Postal Service's operations, leveraging cutting-edge technologies to enhance efficiency and service delivery. And so with a keen understanding of the role that quantum computing will play in the future of logistics, data security, and beyond, Pritha brings a unique perspective on how quantum advancements can impact not just the private sector, but essential public services as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Pritha Mehra. Hey, Pritha. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? A bunch of geeks in this room? Yeah? Okay. So I want to first start by thanking Pallavi Sabu. She invited me here to speak, and I'll never forgive her for that. She's taking a big risk putting up a CIO of a government agency up here, but I will tell you why it's important that I am here, right? Well, let me assure you about a few things. We don't use quantum computers in delivering your mail. We don't have processors in our trucks. We're not teleporting your packages using quantum entanglement, and I can assure you that your birthday cards have nothing to do with quantum tunneling. So you're wondering, okay, what are you doing here? So here's the twist. The Postal Service operates one of the most complex logistics networks on Earth, right? When you think of us, you think of stamps, you think of post boxes, you think of carriers, but what you don't see is our massive mathematical challenge and the logistics acrobats that go behind the scenes, right? So let me stagger you with some statistics. We operate more than 32,000 post offices. We process over 44% of the world's mail. And every day, we deliver about 370 million pieces, over 24 million packages. We drive 4 million miles to 154 million residences and 12 million businesses, right? So we're not just moving mail. We are orchestrating a national symphony of data, of infrastructure, and human coordination, right? So when you look at our scale, our speed, our precision, you realize this isn't just a logistics challenge. It's really a quantum scale optimization problem, right? So let's talk about what that really means, right? So we have 260,000 carrier routes that deliver your mail daily using over 230,000 vehicles, right? We have to think about how we load the trucks. We have to balance weight. We have to balance volume. We have to balance priority. And while we're doing this, we're processing about 30,000 new change of addresses every day. And we're adding 6,600 delivery points every day, right? So how are we going to do all of this and keep our costs down and improve our speed and ensure our safety? It's pretty dynamic and it's pretty relentless, right? So, but logistics is just one piece of the puzzle, right? The real power behind all of this is data. And when I think of quantum computing, and I'm thinking of what do I need to do in the Postal Service, there are sort of two things that come to mind. One is data, right? Our landscape is enormous, right? We have every scan of every package, every address, every mail piece is part of our digital footprint. That's a lot of data, right? It's just not about volume, it's about velocity, it's about veracity, it's about variety, right? So to extract insights from this data, we have spent a lot of time investing in data platforms, right? Not just to serve us, but it's really the broader ecosystem that we have. So ensuring that every piece of information is semantically rich and machine readable, right? We're also focusing on governance. We are one of the most trusted organizations, so governance is really important for us around data. And integrity of data is really critical, right? So we indulge in data protection and privacy. We've got a sort of a multi-layered approach to control data access controls. Now we're getting down to really granular access controls at the field levels using products like Immuta. And at the same time, we're building an integrated environment for real-time data sharing across the enterprise. And that's not a trivial task when you think about us, because we've moved to a world of SaaS products, and every SaaS product has its own personality, runs on its own cloud environment, but every one of them needs our scan data. So how do we do this, and how do we do this smartly, right? So we're moving to cloud-based platforms and consolidating our key data sort of assets, whether it's tracking, whether it's logistics, whether it's delivery, into unified systems, right? So we can support analytics at scale. And that, I think, is one of the pieces of advice I give people is, what do you want to do to prepare for things like quantum? If your underlying data set isn't cool, isn't clear, and also you don't have the same language you're using to reference data sets, we're finding AI can be pretty difficult in those cases, right? So with these strong data underpinnings, we've begun to really lean into AI, right? So we're using it to cut through the noise, spot the patterns, surface the insights that otherwise would stay buried. And AI, powers smarter decisions for us across the board, right? So optimizing our sorting, our vehicle loading, our routing, predicting our package volumes, detecting anomalies, improving delivery accuracy. So, machine learning models are helping us reroute, dynamically reroute for carriers, traffic spikes. But with all these advances, we're only scratching the surface, because our optimization challenges are very vast and multidimensional, right? Which is why that's where quantum computing enters the conversation, right? Not as a replacement for AI, but as a leap forward in solving problems that have been traditionally hard to solve, right? So when you think about all of this, quantum systems can really they can explore millions of route combinations simultaneously, right? And our classical computers will do it one at a time, right? Quantum can help us find the most efficient paths faster in dense urban environments with dozens of stops. I'm fully confident that we would be a great sandbox, right? It could reshape how we model and process data at scale. We can simulate delivery networks. We can optimize facility layouts. And we can even predict when disruptions are going to happen. So, the other area that we've begun to really think about is cybersecurity, right? And how can we prepare for cybersecurity? Well, some quantum computers will render current encryption algorithms insecure through the ability to break their cryptographic keys at unprecedented speeds. Everyone's talking about that, right? So what can we do, right? So at USPS, we've actually conducted a discovery effort to understand our current cryptography posture, right? Identifying which algorithms will not stand up to quantum threats. We are developing migration roadmaps that prioritize systems that are of critical nature, right? So we are actually automating our PKI and certificate management to be able to support these quantum threats or actually stay them. We know that we can no longer rotate keys and certificates once in 2 years. So we need to be ready to rotate them continuously to reduce the risk of quantum attacks. So there are things that you can do now, right? So while quantum researchers are racing to build these machines, we are preparing for post-quantum cryptography, right? So while we don't really run quantum algorithms today, I like to think that, if qubits ever needed a workout, we've got the treadmill. We really do, with our infrastructure, with our logistics problems that we have. So, the Postal Service is in our national fabric, and we connect every home, we connect every business community, from Manhattan high-rises to that mailbox at the edge of the Grand Canyon. Yeah, sometimes we go down in donkeys. So our scale is pretty fascinating, and with every leap forward, there comes a new layer of responsibility, right? Quantum isn't just powerful, it can be pretty disruptive, right? So we are one of the most trusted organizations, and you trust us with your birthday cards, your legal documents, sometimes your love letters. Yeah, you should write love letters. So if you don't do it, do so. Send out Christmas cards, it's sweet. So it's not just a tech issue for us, it's a trust issue. So we obviously tread very cautiously. We're not going to be the leaders. We're going to be the trailers in this technology. But I do believe that there can be tremendous value for us. And so, of course, the most important question for us will not be what can quantum do? It is what should it do, right? So with that, I will leave you and enjoy the rest of your conference.